Happy New Year and welcome to my first vlog update of 2022. Yay! Very, very exciting year ahead. I already know it. I've got so much planned and so much looking back in just the slightly less than a year that I've been, I guess, running this vlog. I've already made so much progress in so many different areas. I'm very excited to keep going and see where next year this time we'll see things. So yeah, very, very stoked. Beautiful day is complementing my mood of excitement. And without any further rambling from me, let's have an update on the week, right? So, got a lot done. As I mentioned in last week's video, I've sorted out the strategy for the EP launch, which will be released on the 4th of February, which is a Friday. And I've already gotten a heap more done just in the past week than I had even scheduled. So that's always a good start, right? I have now finished writing all of the copy for the written materials. I've finished creating all of the artwork to required spec. I've also, put together a pretty solid collateral library for the promotion materials. I'm sure I'll add more to that as the weeks pass, but already just that solid base of material to draw on is giving me a really solid position to start researching and reaching out actively to people and organizations that may potentially be interested in the EP. So that first, I suppose, stone on the footpath is well and truly laid this week, which is great. I have also updated all of my online platforms, so my social media and my website are now all consistent and unified in terms of branding and messaging, so that is also very good. I've also created myself a Linktree account to keep all of that centralized, which will make organizing it and distributing my presence on those various platforms a lot easier moving forward. I've even got a QR code now, courtesy of the Linktree thing. So that's also very handy and looks pretty flash, I think, because I'm a giant nerd. And so I've put that on my promotional materials. And so very exciting stuff in that respect as well. What else have I done? I've also started reaching out to people about the launch, like I said, so friends, family, and have tentatively put out feelers for a little launch event to celebrate on Friday, the 4th of February. So that's all chugging along nicely. I've also gone ahead and started to register with Emu Bands, which I'm going to use as my music distributor. As mentioned last week, they look like they're probably the best option for me personally in terms of what I want from a music distributor. And of course, music distributor is basically a non-optional channel, I suppose, for getting one's music onto streaming platforms like Spotify and Deezer, Amazon, iTunes, that sort of thing. Because as an artist, you can't yourself approach those platforms and put your music up. You actually have to go through an approved distributor for those and for that service. So that will hopefully be sorted. They are currently still on Christmas holidays, according to their website and order reply, but this week coming up, they'll be back on board, and hopefully I will have a proper chat with an account manager that I've already been assigned automatically. So that's always a good sign. And I don't imagine there'll be too many things to suss out there. I think that'll go pretty smoothly. And then that's all on track. Then for this week is more active research and promotion. So getting in touch with more organizations, potentially vloggers, and other avenues that might be interested in picking up the story of the release. And so that's probably going to be where the bulk of my effort will go this week. And then, because the recording and all of that is of course done, and the mix is with Joel now, so he is going to be working on that presumably over the coming week or so, and Emily is going to get the piano for We'll Know Nothing Together hopefully over to Joel as well. So that's coming along. And I'm just trying to remember what other bits were in the strategy. I think that covers the immediate actions, the actionable items currently. And then on top of that, I'm also trying to tick off a bit of reading in general about music and being an artist in the music industry nowadays. So I've started reading a couple of volumes, which I've got here. The first being specific to Australian music. This is a bit of a staple from what I understand. It's been around for a long time. This is the fourth edition that I've got here. It is about 9 years old at this point, so I'm sure there is a lot in here that will have changed. It's a fairly hefty volume. But even just the portions of it that I've read now, even though if they, might be out of date now, I'm sure a lot of it, like I said, will be. It's 9 years old. But the concepts and the core spirit of things in a lot of ways will be fairly similar to how it would have been when this was actually written and published. And even if it's not, even if there's some things in here that are, hugely drastically different now, as again, I'm sure some things are, it will still be a good thing to know where things were at one point in the not too distant past. And it'll give me some grounding to understand how things might have evolved and sort of, I guess, like reverse engineering things. So there might be something that is done a certain way now, and even though it's different from how it would have been done back here, being able to extrapolate back to this point, knowing what I know about certain influences and changes in technology and economies and sectors and law and things like that, will be very beneficial. So I'm really looking forward to, digesting more of this. It'll be a while though. It's pretty hefty. It's like as big as my head, right? And then the other one, which is of course a very different flavor, but also going to be quite a bit of a head job for me, I suspect, is this. Now, this one was actually recommended to me by Emily about a year ago, and I ordered it. And again, I had barely even touched a door back then, so a lot of this was just like, no idea what you're talking about, buddy. But since then, now that I've started having a play around in Cakewalk and I can understand a little bit more about what audio mixing is, it is starting to make a little bit more sense. And I'm sure now picking it up again and rereading bits that had me completely baffled before, I would hope and I would assume I will at least understand a little bit better and be able to pick up more and continue on. So basically, I kind of stopped reading this. I have to admit, I kind of gave up because it was just too advanced for me. I had no idea what some of these concepts were. And even though they explained it, I was still so much of a noob that I'm like, okay, I think I understand what you're saying, but I'm not really sure. And then obviously the concepts keep building on top of each other. And if you don't understand a base concept adequately, then it just makes the rest of whatever is built on it even more confusing. So I was like, you know what, I'm not ready for this. At that time I wasn't, but I think now I might have a better idea and I'm going to tackle it again over the coming weeks. So that is where I'm at. As of today, the first vlog update of 2022. This is going to be a fun time, as always, and I am hopefully going to see you next time.